यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Swatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye, reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest. One should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, and to Narnayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasdev, the author. Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavateruttama-shloke bhaktir-bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Majnanattimidandhasya jnananjana shalakaya Churunmitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Tarinam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers, enables the lame to cross mountains. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we'll be reading from Canto 10, Chapter 17, verse number from 1 to 12, and we'll be focusing on text 11.
This one. Having thus heard. This one. Having thus heard how Lord Krishna chastised Kaliya, King Parikshit inquired, why did Kaliya leave? What was that? Ramanaka Island, the abode of the serpent. And why did Garuda become so antagonist towards him alone?
Sukadeva Goswami said, to avoid being eaten by Garuda, the serpents had previously made an arrangement with him, whereby they would each make a monthly offering of tribute at the base of a tree. With every month on schedule, Almighty Lord King Parikshit, each serpent would daily make his offering to that powerful carrier of Vishnu as a purchase of protection.
Text 4. Although all the other serpents were dutifully making offerings to Garuda, one serpent, the arrogant Kaliya, son of Kadru, would eat all these offerings before Garuda could claim them. Thus Kaliya directly defied the carrier of Lord Vishnu.
O King, the greatly powerful Garuda, who is very dear to the Supreme Lord, became angry when he heard of this. Desiring to kill Kaliya, he rushed towards the serpent with tremendous speed.
As Garuda swiftly fell upon him, Kaliya, who had the weapon of poison, raised his numerous heads to counterattack. Showing his ferocious tongues and expanding his horrible eyes, Kaliya then beat Garuda with the weapons of his fangs.
The angry son of Taksha moved with overwhelming speed in the repelling Kaliya's attack. The terribly powerful carrier of Lord Madhusudana struck the son of Kadru with his left wing, which shone like gold.
Text 8. Beaten by Garuda's wing, Kaliya was extremely disturbed, and thus he took shelter of a lake adjoining the river Yamuna. Garuda could not enter this lake. Indeed, he could not even approach it.
In that very lake, Garuda
after all, his normal food, although forbidden by the sage Subhari, who was meditating there within the water. Garuda took courage and, feeling hungry, seized the fish.
Seeing how the unfortunate fish in that lake had become most unhappy at the time of the leader, Saubari uttered the following curse under the impression that he was mercifully acting for the benefit of the lake's residents.
If Garuda ever again enters this lake and eats the fish here, he will immediately lose his life. What am I saying? What I am saying is the truth.
Of all the serpents, only Kalaya came to know of this affair, and in fear of Garuda, he took up residence in that Yamuna lake. Later, Lord Krishna drove him out.
Text 13, 14.
They are reading it well.
Oh.
Text 11.
Text 11. If Garuda ever again.
Yeah. Go to translation.
Translation.
अरे नीचे.
Yes, please.
Text 11. If Garuda ever again enters this lake and eat the fish here, he will immediately lose life. What I'm saying is the truth.
Now we'll be focusing on text 11, right?
Which was the chapter again?
17.
What, Devanti Prabhu, would you like to help me with the tune? Pravishya Garudo Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati Sadhya Praner Vijuchaita Satyam Pravimiham.
Atra pravishaya garudo.
Atra pravishya garudo Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati
Satya prane virucheta.
Sadhya Praner Vijuchaita
Satyam Medad Dravimyaham.
Satyam Pravimiham.
Atra pravishya garudo.
Atra pravishya garudo
Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati.
Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati
Sadhya praner viyujeta.
Sadhya Praner Vijuchaita
Satyam etat ramyam iham.
Satyam Edad Pravimiham. Atra pravishya garudo
Atra pravishya garudo Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati.
Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati
Satya Prana Yujeta.
Sadhya Praner Vijuchaita
Satyam Edam Dravini Aham.
Satyam Edad Pravimiham.
Atta pravasya garudo.
Atra pravishya garudo Yadi Matsyan Sakhadati Sadhya Praner Vijuchaita Satyam Edad Pravimiham.
Synonyms all together, please. Atra, in this lake. Pravishya, entering. Garuda, Garud. Yadi, if. Matsyan, the fish. Saha, he. Khadati, eats. Sadyah, immediately. Pranaya, of his force of life. Vijyute, will become deprived. Satyam, truthfully. Etad, this. Brahmivi, I'm speaking. Aham, I. Translation altogether, please. If Garuda ever again enters this lake and eats the fish here, he will immediately lose his life. What I'm saying is the truth. Purport, anybody?
The Acharyas explain.
No, Prabhu, you. Yes. Yeah, you raise
I
it.
thought we need to raise the hand.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yes.
I'm so sorry.
The Acharyas explain in this regard that because of Saubhari Muni's material attachment and affection for a fish, he failed to see the situation from the spiritual viewpoint. The ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes his fall down of this offense. Because of false pride, Saubhari Muni lost his power of austerity, and with it, his spiritual beauty and happiness. When Garuda came to the Yamuna, Saubhari Muni thought, although he may be a personal associate of the Supreme Lord, I will still curse him and even kill him if he disobeys my order. Such an offensive attitude against an exalted Vaishnava will certainly destroy one's auspicious position in life. As the ninth canto describes, Saubhari Muni married many beautiful women and suffered greatly in their association. But because he had once become glorious by taking shelter of the Yamuna river in Sri Vrindavana, he was ultimately delivered. Sri Prabhupada.
Huh? What he said?
Prabhupada ke disciples ki hai.
Oh.
Just the eighth canto.
Yes. In first canto, Prabhupada or Srimad Bhagavatam describes the fall down of Brahmanas, where when Sukadeva Goswami, he commits an offense which looked like an offense of garlanding a snake to a yogi. His son, who was a Brahmana too, he cursed Sukadeva Goswami, even though his father was not at all unhappy or not at all, he was not feeling offended. But son, Srimad Bhagavatam writes that son being prideful, that how this king can do this injustice to a Brahmana. So this marked as the fall down of Brahmanas. And when Brahmanas are considered as the head of the society, even the kings, they used to take instructions from Brahmanas. But when Brahmanas fall down, then society is surely to be doomed. Srila Prabhupada takes us in that canto of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in that particular story. Srimad Bhagavatam says that Brahmana was trying to take the position of Krishna. And he thought to himself that Lord Krishna is not here now, he left the world. So these kings, they will rule like he's ruling right now, garlanding yogis and munis. So I have to save these people. And so on my father's behalf, I will curse him. This mentality of becoming a hero, becoming a savior, and instead of asking help from Krishna, believing in our false ego and in our false, whatever 2 cents of sadhana we do, and thinking ourselves as greater and thinking ourselves as, we can do something, we can punish somebody. So this is the mentality here also. He also thought that, I should save these fishes. These fishes have no protector, and I am their protector. It also happened because he was living there under the river, or inside the river, I may say, and he got very attached to these fishes, and he might have seen these fishes every day for I don't know how many years. So he had this natural attachment for fishes, and that's why he offended Garuda. And also, not knowing the glories of Bhakta Garuda, he offended Garuda. Srila Prabhupada mentions in purport that in 9th canto it describes Saubhari Muni's fall down. We'll go to 9th canto and let's see what happened to Saubhari Muni after this. So the verses starts from 9:649 maybe. Yes.
Thereafter, one day, while Saubhari Muni was expert in chanting mantras, was sitting in a secluded place. He thought to himself about the cause of his fall down, which was simply that he had associated himself with the sexual affairs of the fish.
Yeah, only this one. Yeah, I thought of a different verse where it is described how Saubhari Muni was sitting and he saw two fishes indulging in sexual affairs, and then he got interested. He thought, wait, why am I here wasting my life? And then after getting out of the water, Prabhupada mentions that this was the root, this was the seed, and it fructified when he saw two fishes. He got out of the water and he has this urge to enjoy this material life to the fullest. He went to one king and he asked the king for his daughters, one daughter actually. He said to the king that, the king knew who he was, and king got very frightened. And when king judged that he's here to marry one of my daughters, he said, and he looked very pale, very old, Saubhari Muni, because he was a yogi. He asked king that if he could marry one of his daughters, and king was very wise. He said that, okay, you can marry one of my daughters, but I gave my daughters full liberty. So if one of my daughters will like you, then you can marry. Because he knew that nobody will like him. So by his mystic powers, all the sadhana that he did, he used that mystic power to be a beautiful human being, to be a beautiful man. So as he went inside the palace, it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam that not one, not two, the king had 50 daughters and 50 of them wanted to marry Saubhari Muni. And in palace they quarreled. They actually had a fight. Srimad Bhagavatam mentions that they were having a fight that I will marry, he is more suitable for me. And one said, no, he is more suitable for me. At last, everybody married Saubhari Muni. There was one title of a lecture. It said, offenses lead to lust. There was one lecture from Gauranga Darshan Prabhu of this, offenses lead to lust. And here we can see that Saubhari Muni, he wanted to enjoy material life. What is a fall down? Anybody? When we say, okay, a yogi fall down, a devotee fall down, so what do you mean by fall down? Yes. So, yeah, doing Vaishnava Parad and then we fall down. So what is that fall down? How do we know?
Deviating from the spiritual path.
Yes. Anything else?
Going away from Krishna.
Yes.
He forgets Krishna.
Yes. Chaitanya Charitamrit, I cannot remember the shlok, if anybody can. Jeev bhogavansha kare, jeev bhogavansha kare, something like that.
It's in Nectar Instructions.
Yes. So, Saubhari Muni, he wanted to enjoy material life. This is proportionate to how we see devotees. The more we are attached to devotees, the more we have less attraction for material life, for outside world. When I see new people joining the temple, they're attracted to devotees. They're very much attracted to the temple, to the deities. When I was attracted, 2 or 3 years ago, I was listening to one lecture of His Grace Amoglila Prabhu, and he warned me that this will not be the case always. You will have up and downs. This is like a premium period that you're having. Wow. When I first time I went to the temple, for 1 year, I was so excited because for 1 year I was chanting. See, for 1 year I was chanting 16 rounds and I didn't go to the ISKCON temple. I didn't see what ISKCON temple is. I was just dreaming about, okay, one day I will go there. And then when I went there for the first time, the respect, the awe and reverence that I had for the devotees, I remember the center was 500 meters or 400 meters from my place. There were a lot of dogs. So I thought of going to Mangalarati, and I was so excited that I want to see. I used to see lectures of devotees, and all the devotees are sitting together. They're listening to the lecture. I was like, how it is, sitting between devotees, sitting between these people, and listening to the same lecture. I'm here, sometimes at home washing pots or doing something, and if I'm feeling very good listening to these lectures, how I will feel sitting beside my own people and listening to the lecture and dancing with them. I entered the temple and it was just great respect for all the devotees there. And I stayed there whole day. Everybody went out and I was like, no, this is amazing. These devotees, and somebody held my hand and like, you dance. I had my loose pajamas, so I had to tie it up and then I danced. So yes, but I always had this in mind because, as I said, Amoglila Prabhu warned me that it will not stay. When you will do some aparadh, the awe and reverence of devotees will go down. You'll start finding faults. So be careful. So I was like, okay. And as soon as I found one fault or second fault, I remember those words. Oh, it will not stay. So it was. I'm very much grateful that before even entering ISKCON, I was thoroughly trained. And he said that don't expect, because we expect, okay, he's chanting 16 rounds, he's waking up early, this and that. A devotee must be like, Hare Krishna Prabhu, how are you? And that's it. No, they will have their own personalities, they will have their own ups and downs. So don't get worried. Don't I will not say don't judge them because it's natural. It's judging. But as Jivada Prabhu sometimes says that this is their conditioning. This is seeing them like this. So I was thoroughly warned. So it is very important to warn people about ups and downs of bhakti, about chanting, how for the first phase, for the first 6 months, for first 1 year even, you'll feel like this is the best thing in the world. And then it will go down, like, oh my God, I cannot see reciprocation, I cannot see anything. Like, what was that? It will happen. But then again, it will go up. So it's better to say, okay, this is the path. As a father or as a mother, when they've lived the world, and they will say that, when our father and mothers, they used to say that, these friends that you have in school, they're not your real friends. Like, man, what are you talking about? Come on, these are my real friends. We are so close. So, but they warned us. They've seen this happening. And sometimes there are certain kind of friends which our mothers like. Oh, he's very good, or she's very good, because she or he, like our mother and father, they can see, like, this bond will remain. So they know, and they sometimes warn us of upcoming events that may happen. So, yeah, seeing devotees, not criticizing devotees, and one of the biggest challenges, or this is actually a fall down, that you end up criticizing. And I heard it somewhere that this is like a ladder and this will not stop. If you will criticize even a devotee who is collecting garbage, and then you will criticize maybe his guru, then whose guru, who is our guru? Then you will end up criticizing Prabhupada, then you will end up criticizing parampara, and you will end up criticizing Krishna, then you will end up leaving. So this is a ladder. You have to recognize it as soon as possible, and you have to stop it. So Shaubari Muni, he married those 50 girls, and he had 100 children from all of them. 100 and 5,000, and he was wondering, the shloka that it was there on the TV, that he was thinking, then he realized, wait a minute, what I'm doing. And Srimad Bhagavatam mentions that Shaubari Muni created such a beautiful temple, such a beautiful palace, ornaments, paraphernalias, whatever, motor cars and all, whatever they had at that time, that king was very astonished, and he was a very big king, and he got astonished, like, wait a minute, this Muni, this yogi, how he can do this? And Shaubari Muni was actually trying to satisfy his senses to the fullest. Okay, let me try it. And sometimes doing sadhana, wait a minute, I'm doing 100% of my sadhana. Okay, let's do 80%, and 20% let's satisfy my senses. Then this is how it started. Okay, let's marry one time. Okay, no, wait. Okay, let's marry. This crack that sometimes we see, that Maya, don't leave a crack. Okay, let me marry 2 times. Okay, let me marry 3 times, 4, 5, 50. He married 50 and 100 children. How can... Sometimes we think we'll be satisfied with our small families. That's why I was listening to one lecture. I was about to share that lecture on our group, where this tendency to enjoy, and how Srimad Bhagavatam gives us an overview of that this will not stay. Or see this, it was from Glories of Bhagavatam by Vaisheshika Prabhu, and he was saying that Srimad Bhagavatam will let you know all the kings. They're not giving example of a poor man who was not satisfied. Kings like Chitraketu Maharaj, king, and yogis, even yogis who had 50. Okay, if you think, okay, you'll have a merry-go life, and you will stay in one place, and then you will do devotional service. 50 marriages, 5,000 family members, 100 children with each, and still there was one shloka where he said that, oh my God, I'm not satisfied. What is this? Everything, even more opulence than a king, but still that shloka. I didn't record it, I guess. So yes, Shaubari Muni had this great realization. And also Maharaj Chitraketu. See, these are examples of kings. King of the world. Who are we? We'll think, okay, just one car, just one phone, and I will be satisfied. They had everything. So Srimad Bhagavatam, when you will read it, examples like these, like reading, if I have a desire to maybe buy this, but if I'm reading like 50 stories of people bought this and they regretted, like, not so good idea. So this is Bhagavatam. I want to enjoy. Let's go. Let's enjoy life. Read Bhagavatam. Kings, great kings. Maharaj Chitraketu. He was a king. Guess how many wives he had? 500, okay. Huh? 1,000, okay. One.
You wish.
You wish. 1 crore.
Oh, that's close.
Just one word, yes. 1 crore wives. And when you it's 9, 14, 11, Srimad Bhagavatam. Attachment. He was so attached. He had all the opulence that you can imagine. All the so-called, family members. Yes. It's 9, 14, 11? Yeah, wrong one. But yes. Anyways, he says that I have everything, but I'm not yet. Yeah, 9, 14, 11. No, this is the wrong one. Yeah, I noted down the wrong one. But yes, he was not satisfied, Maharaj Chitraketu. So yes, these are the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please read. When you will read, how you will get to know that, okay, whatever you desired, it's in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I desire to be the king. I desire to be in heaven. I desire this big paraphernalia. I desire this. Maharaj quoted one phrase. He said that if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. If you find yourself in a hole, this world, I'm already in a hole. I'm digging, but the hole is compared to the world. I'm already here. It's very difficult to get out. But guess what? We dig more. Okay, more relations. Okay, house. Okay, and we dig. Oh, that's a house. Wow, that's a house. Okay, might be. I should dig more if I'm getting this happiness. Okay, dig more. And that's some relations. That's my brother. That's my mother. That's my aunt. Okay, more digging. Then we end up and we see, then it's very hard when you dig more. So when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. And there was one more very beautiful quote. Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam will teach us that every story is filled with these pastimes where nobody is satisfied. And everybody is like madly rich or had everything that we ever imagined. So that's how we get connected. And okay, then devotional service, 5 minutes. And what happened to Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu? Of course, he was devastated. He had a son. He wanted a son always, but he couldn't get a son. But at last, he got a son. The son died. The son was named Harshashok, something like that. The thing that will give you pleasure at one time will give you shok, will give you very sadness. In Bhagavad Gita also, I'm doing Bhakti Shastri. In Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu was mentioning the heat and cold verse. What was that verse? Yeah, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada. So he mentioned a very great thing that in cold weathers, warm water, my God, heaven, cold weather, warm water. But same warm water in hot weather. Warm water, right? So a object or thing, anything that give us pleasure at one point can be like poison at another when season changes. When life changes, it is like that. But devotional service, Chitraketu Maharaj was a great devotee. He was cursed to become Vritrasur. There's another long story how he was cursed. I had to read that yet. I don't know. But he became Vritrasur. He became a demon. But again, he was a devotee. He had his... That's why I've heard a lot of Maharaj, they're saying that all these prayers, they will never go in vain, that we say. You will take them in next life. So, learning shlokas, learning, this is the wealth. Even Vritrasur, Gajendra, he was a king. He took these prayers to his next life, and as Gajendra, he spoke those prayers. And Vritrasur also, he was Maharaj Chitraketu, too attached to house, too attached to all of the things, and when he was about to die as a demon, what prayers he uttered? The same guy who was begging that, please, I had 1 crore wives, I have everything, but I don't have a son. Please give me a son. Please give me a son. And then finally he got a son, and then he died. That same person, as a Vritrasur, when he became a devotee. Can you search prayers of Vritrasur? See what he prays. He had everything, right? But because of devotional service, because of detachment from the world and attachment to Krishna's lotus feet, what prayers he sung for Krishna. The last one, there are 4 shlokas only. The last one is very important, but we'll sing every shloka. They are 6, 11, 23. No.
Search Aham Hare Tab.
Yeah. Aham Hare Tab.
Next.
Search on up there. Yes. Only Sanskrit. Okay, first let's read the translations. Okay, one person. Anyone? Translations? Yes.
O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O my Lord of my life, may I again become their servant so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes. My words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship.
Next slok. There are 4 slokas. Yes.
O my Lord, source of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planets where Lord Brahma resides, nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all the earthly planets or the lower planetary systems. I do not desire to be master of the power of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet.
Next. Anybody? Yes.
O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you.
The last shloka. This is the not the main one, but yeah, this is what I'm trying to focus on. He had everything, and see what he said. Yes.
Oh my Lord, my Master, I am wandering throughout this material world as a result of my futile activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. My attachment to my body, wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy, but I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything I have be attached only to you.
Yes, and now we can sing it, the 4 shlokas. You can show in advance view.
Twenty-three?
24, yes. How do I do it? Together or first me and you?
First,
Huh? Aham haretav padekamula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuyah manah smareta supater gunam sate granitavaka karma karotu kayah nanak prishtham na cha paramishtham na sarvabhaumam narasadhipatyam na yoga siddhir apunarbhavam va samanjastva virahaya kangshe ajata paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yatha vatsraha kshudharata priyam priyeva vishitam vishinna manoravindakshi dirdrakshate tvam mamuttama shloka janeshu sakhyam samsar chakre भ्रमितः स्वकर्मभिः. Yeah, these two lines which I was trying to focus on. Tvanmaya atma atmachidargeheshva asakta chittasya nanatha bhuyat. Yes, thank you. This time.